IPL.
Yeah, this is a tough one, isn't it? Because it's a humanitarian disaster at the moment. It's, COVID has basically hit India like a tsunami, really, for want of a better term. And IPL is still going on. There's a lot of chatter at the moment of whether that's right or wrong. For what it's worth, Pat Cummins, who, fair play to him, he's set up a $50,000 donation to the PM Cares appeal. I assume that's something to do with the Prime Minister. I'm not quite sure. But he's encouraged others to do the same. But he was talking about how they are questioning whether the IPL should keep going with what's going on in the country. And he's, they're saying basically that it's a few hours a day of respite for a nation largely in lockdown. So I do understand, and I know what it was like for us. You have something going on in the day. It is important. It's a strange time, isn't it? But it's a difficult one when you've got this little bubble, of very, very well looked after people with a lot of help. Let's say, maybe that help could be redirected, but it's that balancing act, isn't it, of what's better at the moment. So with that, quickly just going through, Ravi Ashwin from Delhi Capitals, he's wanting to support his family, so he stepped away from the game at the moment. Aussies, Andrew Ty, followed by Kane, Richardson and Adam Zampa. They've all left to head back to Australia. I think they're a little bit worried about getting back to family, etc. They have just announced that they are kind of postponing or cancelling any flights from India into Australia, so it might be a bit tricky for the lads that are staying on. Liam Livingston as well, he was the first one. He's cited bubble fatigue. Big Bash, England white ball win to now IPL. He also got back in quickly before there was a 10-day quarantine period in England as well. So yeah, so it's a really tough one at the moment for IPL. I mean, we're big fans of it. We're not talking about it as much on here, but we are keeping aware of what's going on. And it's a really, really tough one. I don't think there's a simple explanation here or an answer. No. But what are you thinking about it?
The one thing that's confused me with numbers escalating is the Indian Cricket Board can take control of this situation and protect its players. I don't know if you saw the picture. There was a picture of Kane Williamson and David Warner on a plane.
Right.
Full PPE gear.
Oh, okay.
Like head to toe covered just to be able to fly to the next game.
Right.
Mentally for a player, that must be very tough. But going to the Indian Cricket Board, what would I expect from an employer or a governing body? It would be protection. And the way to do it, and the way other sports, a lot of sports have done it, is to have tournament bubbles where it's all played from one location. The fact that you've got 350,000 cases a day and guys traveling through airports, seeing X amount of people that aren't part of their bubble is just risk that doesn't need to be taken. There's not really fans in stadiums, so to speak, so it's not a match day revenue thing. And if broadcast revenue and sponsorship is the numbers that they really need to hit, then they need to work out a way to get it on and make it safe.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you're saying there. If they deem that playing the IPL and having it going through TVs all across the nation is so important to national morale and all that sort of stuff, then make sure you keep this competition going. And like Rob said, relocate, pause it for a moment, relocate everybody to an area, get everyone set up, give everyone a few days or even 10 days or whatever you need to do, and then go again. Problem with that, obviously, the calendar doesn't move, does it? We've got IPL is already butting up against, for example, England, New Zealand test matches and other stuff, I'm sure. But there's got to be a better way potentially doing it. It's a little bit of a time bomb, isn't it?
It is. You would have thought they would have planned. This has been going on a while, and we saw what the Premier League did with football the first time round. And it's given everyone an opportunity to think about, okay, this is our number one. And we did it in New Zealand. I know we've had a lesser outbreak, but we've had lockdowns. And what happened after the first one was everything stopped for 16 weeks. And nothing happened. And then the second one, they went, oh, you know what? If Auckland gets locked down again, everything moves to Wellington. And this is how we do it. And there was backup plans, emergency plans that could just be called on in case of lockdown and things like that. And I'd be ultra disappointed if there isn't something in an industry this big where they've got that in place, because they need to keep the show on the road. And I guess what we're not privy to is the financial contracts that are in place between broadcasters and sponsorship, where normally there is dates given that something has got to happen between certain dates to meet a certain payment criteria. And money's king. Money may be winning conversations, and it's all hypothetical because we don't know, but you are trying to guess why they aren't potentially doing more to take care of the players and keep it going?
Yeah, it is a really tough one. I think if I had to say anything, it surprises me at the start of the competition that there was any fans at all allowed in.
Yeah.
It just kind of amazed me a little bit that it's like I didn't remember hearing that India were totally vaccinated or anything else. And I'm not picking on India now. England, UK could have been just as bad, if not worse. We have been horrific.
Yeah.
Don't care what anyone says. We've had a horrific time of it. India is no different. They're not exceptional.
Yeah.
It could have happened here. So, but I just wonder if it's the right thing to keep this competition going. I mean, how many resources are there in the background that could be redirected to the ordinary people when you see scenes of, oxygen not even being available? So I don't know. It doesn't sit overly comfortable with me. But if the powers that be, who should know better, think it's right to carry on, then do it. But like Rob said, do it properly. Just take some more care in how you're doing the rest of this competition.